I almost became the Jesus Christ of Raising Cane's. Okay? So, here's what happened, alright? Last night, at about 11 p.m., 12 a.m. almost, right? My dad, he sent me a TikTok, right? Which, just don't question, okay? My dad sends me TikToks, right? And he calls me, and he's like, when a dad calls me about something, it's like, okay, it's typically important, obviously. So obviously, I'm confused on what's going on. I answer him. He's like, "Hey, look at the TikTok I just sent you, okay?" And I'm like, "Okay, bye." I hang up. Boom. I go to TikTok. I look at the TikTok he's sending me. My dad proceeds to send me this TikTok, and it says, "It's this guy explaining how there's a new Raising Cane's like 5 minutes away from where I live, and the first 100 people are not only going to get something, but you'll be entered in a raffle where 20 people will get picked." Where 20 people will get picked, right? And those 20 people will get free chicken for a year. So I said, okay, this seems like a fun adventure. What time is it going to happen? This guy proceeds to say, oh yeah, you have to get here between 8 and 9. Now, obviously, I'm thinking, okay, this is Raising Cane's. Look, if none of you know what Raising Cane's is, it's this, okay? This is Raising Cane's. If you are, I don't think this is anywhere, I think it's just an American thing, okay? So if you are from Europe, you probably don't know what this is. Well, basically, Raising Cane's is one of the fastest growing, I think it's the fastest growing fast food chain in America, right? So there's this guy, quick backstory, the guy who made Raising Cane's presented it in college during his business class. His professor said, no, that's a stupid idea, you fail. Then this guy worked his ass off to open the first restaurant. It ended up blowing up, got really huge, and eventually he started to expand and becoming the number one growing fast food chain of all time, I think. I'm pretty sure, right? So he opened up the fifth Raising Cane's down where I live, okay? Now, mind you, where I live, the only two Raising Cane's, the closest Raising Cane's to me before was 2 hours away. Now it's 5 minutes away. So that's a big fucking jump. Now here's the thing. My thing with Raising Cane's is at first I didn't like it because there was one in Miami Beach. I tried it. It was okay. I didn't like it too much. Then I tried another one, the one that was 2 hours away. That one was just bad. This one was actually really good. So the backstory behind this now, last night I said, okay, you know what? I'm interested. This could be a good story. Let me just see what's popping off. So now that we're done with that, now that you know what Raising Cane's is, now I can explain further. So I set an alarm for 7 because I know these motherfuckers are gonna be fiending for free food. Like once you mention anybody to free food, I feel like it's a normal reaction for people to, you know what? Let me go get my shit together. Let me go get locked in and ready for this. Okay. So I wake up at 7. My mom wants to come with me, so I'm like, okay, bet, let's go. So boom, we get there, right? As soon as we get there, there's already a line. Okay. Now before you say anything, I became the Jesus Christ. Yeah, I almost became the Jesus Christ of food. On God. So here's the thing. Before, right, we got anything done, right? Obviously, we had to go make the line. We make the line, right? This fucking hat is falling. We make the line. At first, it's really slow, okay? Now, mind you, this is like a very small location, too, because before, it was a Boston Market, which if you don't know what that is, I don't even know how to explain it because it's Boston Market. Just search it up. It's not that good. I'm not going to lie. So honestly, Raising Cane's there is obviously a significantly better choice because more people know Raising Cane's, and honestly, it boosts their brand. I guess more people will know who they are. So remind you, because it's 7 and it's cold in Miami right now. Okay, it was like 40 something degrees. So I'm over here next to the wall. My mom is next to me. Okay, there's a bunch of other people on the line. Now, mind you, I'm obviously sweated up and shit like that, okay? So I have a bunch of sweaters on. I'm cold as shit. I'm over here trying to aura farm, right? But it's failing because I'm low-key shivering, but we're not going to talk about that. What ends up happening, right? After, like, I want to say 45 minutes of just standing in line, they're asking us to back up a little bit because we're going to have to go into another entrance. So as we're walking over there, right, we see, mind you, this is a public space, okay? Obviously, it's a public space. So over here, right, on this side of the street, we see these group of people come up to the sidewalk, right? And we're like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, okay, are these people trying to like join the line or what's going on? Because they're on the sidewalk. They're just looking at us. Then I see them start setting up these 2 poles, this little like background with dead chickens, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then it hits me. These people are vegan protesters, and they're trying to convince people not to eat there. When I tell you this was now proceeded to be the funniest hour and 30 minutes I have spent in the morning, because not only do you have this girl, and mind you, it's cold as shit, okay? Everybody in Miami is cold right now. She was wearing a fucking skin tight suit, okay? It was like almost like a one-piece bathing suit for women, okay? Now, not only did she pull up in that, but she also put shackles on her feet. So once she got up on the thing, she just started hanging upside down like that. And you have her friends or whoever else was there holding up signs saying, what is it? I am me. I am not meat. Don't eat meat. And like bullshit like that. Oh my God. I felt so bad for her because it was so cold. But then again, she willingly chose to do that. So I didn't feel as bad. However, I will say, they took it to an extreme. There were like 5 stages of their BS. I'm gonna keep it a buck. There were generally 5 stages of BS. Now, what do I mean by that? The first stage was her being hung upside down on the shackles, hanging like that, pretending like she was a piece of dead meat. Okay, that was the first stage. The second stage, they got her off of that, right? Put a jacket on her, waited like 5 minutes, then took it off. Proceeded to get one of her friends dressing up like a butcher, get a fake knife, and put it up to her neck. Yeah, exactly. That was stage 2, okay? Stage 3, she went back up on that same thing, went upside down, and they started putting fake blood in her fucking neck. Okay? Stage 4 was the butcher cutting open her neck with fake blood coming out, right? Now, the last stage was the absolute fucking funniest, because once that happened, she was upside down, fake blood everywhere. Like, it's all dripping all over her face. So she says, you know what? How do I up the ante? I'm going to scream my fucking lungs out. So not only is all this happening, she is now upside down, hanging her arms like this. Her friend is cutting her neck with a fake knife. Fake blood is coming down all up in her face. And she starts to go, genuinely the funniest shit I have ever seen. And I get what they're trying to do. I respect it. I do. But you have to understand how funny this shit was, okay? Because by the time she reached to stage 5, progressively more and more people started to pull up. By more people, not like customers. No, people who are supposed to be there for an event, okay? So come time of the raffle, right? They tell us that we have to get these things over here, right? And on top of these, it's like something you rip out so they can put in, and if they call your number, then you win, okay? So there is this guy over here. It was this guy, okay? I have no idea who he is, but he plays for the University of Miami's basketball team, okay? I have no idea who he is. Now, he announced the first 10 people, okay? When he announced the first 10 people, my heart dropped. Because look, obviously, if you don't know how raffle works, it works like this. You're supposed to call this number, okay? And then if they call that number, then you win. This guy proceeded to call by like number 7, right? He proceeded to call. My number is 83353. He called 83351. Brother, had I been like 5 minutes earlier, I would have been the Jesus Christ of Raising Cane's. I'm not pissed or anything like that. I just want to explain how close I was to becoming the Jesus Christ of chicken, bro. That was crazy work. Respectfully, that was crazy work. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Once that happened, then some cheerleaders pulled up from my old high school, because it's very close, okay? They pulled up. They did their own little dance. They did the whole routine. That was nice. It was cute. All right, good for them. They were shivering the entire time. I want to be so clear. Prior to this, they got a little coffee, and they were all like in a little hut. Like they were all like circling around each other with their coffee in the middle, trying to warm up. And I felt so bad for them because it was generally so cold. After that, they had to lock in and do their performance. Afterwards, they started like rubbing like their shoulders. They were really, really cold, and I felt bad for them. I really did. So once they did the whole routine, then this lady, right, named Mrs. whatever the fuck, I forget what her name is, but I don't know. She has like some significance towards like where like towards Miami, I guess. I've never heard of her. I never heard of her before. Okay, literally, I've never heard of her before. But that's whatever. Now, she proceeds to announce the next 20 people. I don't even come fucking close to getting my number called. I don't even get a foot on the door for my number getting called. Respectfully, I don't. Okay. Now, mind you, my mom is there with me too. And obviously, if I'm close to my mom is also really close to getting called on. Okay. So we don't get called on, but that's whatever. Then they proceed to give us this. I was number 52 in line. My mom was number 53 in line. Okay. And I'm keeping this. Okay. I know it's flopping all over the place, but I'm keeping this shit. Yeah, flop in your face. Anyways, I'm keeping it. Because look, I've never done this before. I've always wanted to go into a restaurant, like a popular food chain, opening day. This was a good experience, okay? So once the last 10 people were called, that's when stuff started to die down a little bit. But that's also when the owner of this new Raising Cane's started to give a speech about who this guy is, which I just gave you a brief summary of who he is. And as he's telling this, I had possibly one of the greatest, I had like top 10 lock-in moments of all time, because as this owner is telling the story of how Raising Cane's was made, you have the vegans fucking screaming her lungs out, and this guy's trying to give an inspirational speech. So I want you to picture this. I want you to really try to picture this, okay? Picture the owner standing up in front of everybody, right? Ready to cut the ribbon. Saying, guys, thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for joining me and everybody into this special moment. I want to give some background on who this guy is. I swear to God, this happened every 3 seconds. I want every 3 seconds, just imagine this. Every few seconds that happened. So this guy's dead ass trying to give an inspirational speech about how this guy made a multi-million-dollar company, right? One of the fastest growing food chains ever. And you hear a girl screaming her fucking lungs out in the freezing cold. I tried so hard not to laugh. But you can see me, like I'm about to actually explode. Like I couldn't keep it in. That's the thing. I couldn't keep it in. I genuinely couldn't keep it in, okay? So now once that was over, they cut the ribbon. It was actually a very nice turnout. They brought out a dog who was supposed to represent Raising Cane's. Now, something I didn't mention before was Raising Cane's. Cane's is the name of the owner's dog. So his name is Cane's. So the dog's name is Cane's. So they brought out a dog to represent Cane's. So when the dog came up, everybody was obviously excited. They said, "Oh my God, it's the dog! It's the dog!" I just called him Mr. Cane's. When the dog pulled up, I just said, "Yo, what's good, Mr. Cane's?" And the dog gave me a dap up. It was fucking sick. He knew my aura. He knew I had presence. He knew I had motion like that. He saw, oh, he's Sandro. Let me dap him up real quick. Got you, fam. So once that happened, people started to move into the line. Now they're finally opening up the place. That was the biggest BS. Shit, bro. You're just mad because you didn't almost become the Raising Cane, the Jesus Christ of Raising Cane's, respectfully. So after some time, they finally started letting people inside the store. Now, mind you, Raising Cane's is fucking quick, bro. So at this point, we got there like, I want to say like 8 o'clock on the dot. We didn't get into the store until like maybe 9:30. Or maybe 8:30, around there. 8:45-ish, I would say that. We got in the store. Finally, I can like stop freezing my ass off. It's super nice. Now, if you don't know how Raising Cane's looks like, it's actually a very cool place. Hold up. Look, this is how typically almost every single Raising Cane's looks like. So you'll get it's very cool. Like I'm telling you, they have 3 disco balls. If you're lucky, the one in Miami Beach, they have a disco that's always working there, which is super, super fun. They have a whole light show. It's actually really, really cool. It looks basically exactly like this, okay? You have disco balls over here, some seats around, and you order over here. On top of that, too, more balls. No wonder you like it. All right, bro. On top of that, too, On top of that too, if you also don't know, Raising Cane's menu only has 4 things. They only have 4 things on the menu. And this is the only things that they serve, okay? They have a box combo, which is basically 4 chicken strips, some fries, and bread, toasted bread, right? On top of that, they also have the 3-finger combo, which is the same thing. All right, bro. They have the Caniac, which is like a bunch of chicken, which is I think 6. Yeah, it's 6, and then a chicken sandwich. Okay. Typically, you don't get the chicken sandwich. You're mostly there for the chicken strips, okay, or the chicken tenders, however you want to call them. Now, Raising Cane's itself, the other 2 times, I was low key disappointed. I was genuinely low key disappointed because the flavor wasn't good. It wasn't really that great. When I got here and I ordered my 3-finger combo, oh my god, this was not only perfectly seasoned, but it was just so good. The chicken was actually so fucking tender. It was amazing. It was such a good experience to have Raising Cane's over there, especially opening day. Then, on top of that, once you leave, not only do you get hats that say Raising Cane, which by the way, these cost like $35. On top of that, because I was part of the first 100 customers, look what I get. That's right. I get a free fucking box combo. Stop playing with me, bro. That was a huge W in my book, okay? They gave us this, and it was honestly genuinely a great experience to have, okay? So, after that, my mom and I, we left the store, got back in the car, drove over here. My dad really wanted some. My dad had never tried this. My dad had never tried first 100 because you were spawn camping. Basically, bro, it was basically at my spawn point, so obviously I'm gonna pull up over there. Fuck everybody else, bro. Yo, no, but you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? No, you know what the crazy part? I didn't even mention what the crazy part was. I might have gotten there almost exactly at 8. You know how long the first person has been waiting there? The first person that wanted to try this Raising Cane's restaurant was there since 6 p.m. yesterday. They were at that fucking line since 6 p.m. yesterday. That is fucking commitment. That is fucking commitment, bro. And that's also like gotta be unemployment for our boss. I'm not gonna lie. Good for them though. Good for them. Unfortunately for them, I feel like if you're waiting from 6 p.m., you should immediately be in the draft, bro. You should immediately be a part of the first 20 of the 20 people to get free chicken, but I don't think they were. So that sucks for them. And but it's all good. It's all good. You know, you're there for the experience. Respectfully, there for the experience, right? Once that was done, my dad had never tried Raising Cane's, so my mom got him something, right? My mom doesn't eat meat. Okay, my mom is a vegan. My mom's a vegetarian. So I mind you, when the vegans started pulling up and doing their protest, I was cracking up jokes the entire time to my mom. I'm like, oh mom, look, it's your people, huh? You should join them. Go ahead. My mom was being great. I love my mom. So my mom got my dad some stuff. My dad never tried Raising Cane's. Once my dad tried it, he was like, yo, this place is actually really fucking good. It was really, really good. Because you know what? It was actually well seasoned this time. The first time I tried it, the fries tasted like styrofoam. It sucked. The second time I tried it, the chicken was so bland. It sucked. This time, everything was perfect down to a fucking T. It was great. It was great. I loved it. So that's how why do I feel like you're making shit up? My guy, I have everything. What are you talking about? I have everything here to prove. I have everything. Bro, I have videos, my guy. I was gonna show you guys the video once I was done, but watch the videos. Hold on, wait. Let me turn this on. Okay, so here's the thing. That's basically how I almost became the Marvel Jesus, or the Marvel Jesus. That's how I almost became the Raising Cane's Jesus Christ, bro. I'm not fucking capping, bro. Peep. So obviously this is the haul that I got, right? I'm not freezing my fucking ass off. This is the restaurant. Hold up. Now, hold up. Let me go. Where do I go? See that? That's what she was wearing. I'm me, not meat. See the individual, go vegan. I'm not fucking joking. And if you could see right there, that's fucking blood that's fake blood on her neck. It's fake, guys. It's not real. Okay? Boom. A better visual. I'm not joking, dude. I'm not joking about this. Did I tell you this was the fucking highlight of everything? Look, the butcher was there. I told you. I'm not joking. And what does that say right there? Chickens shackled and bled out. Please try vegan. That's what I'm talking about, bro. What? Look, see that? So I'm saying, bro. Oh, can you get me banned? Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, most of that was just happening. It's fake. It's not real. This was the This was the cheerleaders. Their routine was. It was very very cold, so their routine wasn't the best, and I do feel bad for them because they really did try. Look, this is when Mr. Kane's pulled up. I swear to God, the dog. I swear to God. Okay, ignore the dog walking past by me. I swear to God, the dog came back to dap me up. I'm not joking when I say that. All right, sorry, yeah, that's fine. This was the basketball player I've never seen before, but because Diego knows more ball, that Diego has actual ball knowledge, that Diego has actual ball knowledge. I asked him if he knew who this was, and this was not it. This is when they cut the was it the store? I swear to God, I know this sounds off, but you can hear this lady screaming her fucking lungs out. More story ANS, bro. All right, bro. For sure, my guy. For sure. For sure, buddy. For sure. I think. Oh, look, wrong thing, wrong one. I think we're ignoring the fact how I almost became the Jesus Christ of chicken. Okay. That's it. If you wanted proof, I gave you proof. But look, that's the whole story of how I became, or how I almost became, the Jesus Christ of Raising Cane. You're welcome. You're welcome. No need to blame me. No need to thank me. Actually, that's what I do, bro. That's what I do. So yeah, needless to say, I have 2 Raising Cane's hats now. Now that we're done with that, ignore the hat here. That didn't tell anything about Jesus. I never said it was about Jesus. I said how I almost became the Raising Cane's of Jesus, the Jesus Christ of Raising Cane's. So jokes on you. It was really fun for me to go through all that stuff. Oh my god! And on top of that too, my mom got a free fucking cowbell. She started rigging that shit all the time, and I was like, dude, they give the wrong person too much power. I'm gonna be real with you. My mom will go crazy for that, respectfully. But yeah, that's it.